Bills-Ravens is another big game to watch this weekend. The Ravens are 10-2. Bills continue to be the surprise of the league. They're 9-3. This game will be played at New Era Field in Buffalo. Damon Turbett is our Ravens correspondent. Damon, odds have changed in Vegas. Now the Ravens are favored to win the Super Bowl. Do you agree?
It's hard to disagree. I mean, you see the New England Patriots and you always think, the Patriots should be the favorite because they always find a way to make it. But the Ravens laid the whooping on New England like they have to just about every team they've played the last few weeks. Obviously, last week was close against San Francisco, but they've really proved over these last, eight wins in a row, they've definitely proved over the last couple months that they are the best team right now in the NFL. So Vegas, they got to cover their money. So I think it makes a lot of sense that the Ravens would be the top team right now.
All right, they're hot. Teams can't seem to figure out a way to stop Lamar Jackson in this offense. Any chance they're peaking too early?
You got to wonder. I mean, well, people always, have had questions about Lamar Jackson going all the way back to when he was drafted about would he even be able to play the quarterback position, the famous, he's a running back conversation. So you wonder if teams are going to be able to start figuring this out. The history points to teams generally being able to do that in the NFL, but Lamar Jackson continues to do things that nobody else has really done before, and especially in the way that he does it, the eye test. So when it comes to peaking too early, I don't think so. I mean, this just seems like a team that gets better every week, and it's so hard to string together wins in the NFL. So to win 8 weeks in a row and do it against the teams that they have, it's kind of hard to say that they've peaked. And the scary thing is, it's just how much better can they get?
Yeah, as you just mentioned, the teams they've beaten since losing to the Browns, they've reeled off wins over the Steelers, Seahawks, Patriots, Texans, Rams, and 49ers. Did that Browns loss spark this team?
I think it must have. I mean, you saw the Browns and the Steelers in the way that they are. The AFC North in general is a very testy division, and losing to the Browns, especially when you look ahead a few weeks and see that they were about 2-6, I want to say, at one point. So that definitely sparked them a little bit, and ever since then, I mean, you just rattled off all the teams, and I'm pretty sure those are the best teams in the NFL, really. You may be missing one team that they didn't play in between there, but they've gone on ever since then, and they've been unstoppable. So I would say they've won in every element. They've won against every type of team. That Browns loss, nobody really likes losing to the Browns. There's something about the Baker Mayfield complex. There's something about the whole AFC North complex, and I think that did spark them.
All right, David, what are you more impressed by, the Ravens offense or that defense, which is really playing great right now?
I got to say I'm impressed. That's a tough question, actually. I'm going to say that I'm more impressed by the offense because it's a matter of everybody has been talking about the offense since day one. The defense was a little bit slower out of the gate, but has really picked it up over in recent weeks. But everybody keeps talking about the offense and how do you stop the offense, but the offense just continues to produce. So given all the pressure and all the hype around the offense, and it hasn't missed a beat, they just beat the 49ers in driving rain. We're still managed to get 20 points up on the board there. I would have to say that the offense is most impressive, but that defense is really catching up, and that is why it looks like right now like they're going to be the best team in the AFC.
Josh Reed is our Bills correspondent. All the buzz in the league right now surrounds the Ravens, Josh. The Bills are a great story, but they're still flying under the radar outside of Buffalo. Can they win this game?
Absolutely, and you say fly under the radar, that's exactly what Sean McDermott and this team, that's exactly where they want to be. They want to be under the radar. They want to be off of all the marquee signs, and they're happy with being 9-3 and just letting their play do the speaking every Sunday. And last Thursday when they beat the Cowboys, yes, to answer your question, they can beat the Ravens because no one gave them much of a chance to beat the Cowboys, right? A lot of people ended up eating crow instead of turkey on Thanksgiving. So, that was, everybody wanted to make that a statement game. I heard somebody after the game say, you know what, I don't know if it was a statement game. I think they answered some questions. If they beat the Ravens, now we're talking a statement game.
Josh Allen isn't in the MVP conversation, but he's putting together a really nice year, and this team is winning. What's the biggest thing he's brought to this franchise?
Stability and leadership. I mean, those are by far his best attributes. Of course, he's got a cannon for an arm, dual threat quarterback, able to roll out, make some plays with his legs, but the leadership that he has brought to this offense and this team in general has been very, very undervalued maybe. Maybe he kind of flies off the radar a little bit. You know, I'll never forget last year, midway through the season, former Bills running back, LaShawn McCoy, was at the podium, and he just raved about the leadership that Josh had kind of brought into that locker room, and that's something that really stood out. And you can see this team really rallies behind their quarterback. That's something that he's done, and statistically, he's really made huge leaps. Over those last 8 games, 18 total touchdowns, passing and running, just 3 turnovers. And with this defense, you're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, they're only 1 game behind the Patriots, and 10 wins probably gets them into the playoffs. But the Bills' next 3 games are against the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Patriots before they close out against the Jets. You don't want to have to wait until the final week to get that 10th win. Can they squeeze a win out of this gauntlet before they play the Jets?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you bookend the Steelers with the Ravens and, of course, the Patriots, but they're better than Pittsburgh. The Buffalo Bills are better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, that is a road game for the Bills, but quite frankly, I think they're going to be favored going into that one. And the Steelers are quarterbacked by a guy named Duck. You know, if you're going to be a serious playoff contender, you got to beat teams that are led by quarterbacks that go by the name Duck. So, you know, with that being said, you know, the Ravens is going to be a tough one for them to figure out. But I think that they win that Steelers game. And then you follow it up, of course, with the Patriots. And, you know, they're not that big, bad, bully Patriots team that we've seen over the past 2 decades. I think they're vulnerable. Now, does that mean that the Bills are going to go into Foxborough and win that game, the next to last game of the season? It's going to be tough. But I don't think the Bills go into that game as 2 touchdown underdogs. I mean, that's going to be a good game, and like you said, then they finish up with the Jets. But the path to the playoffs is pretty clear.
So would you go as far to say as they could even possibly win this division, the way the Patriots are rolling right now?
That is the magical question. Can they win this division? And I tell you what, Buffalo may break off and fall over the falls. I mean, if they find a way to slay the dragon, and if we end up talking about a potential bye week for the playoffs here in Buffalo and around Western New York, heads will explode. And Sean McDermott can run for any office he would like to, and he will get elected hands down. I don't know that anybody would vote against him. The people will be saying Brandon Beane, General Manager of the Year. It's still quite the long shot, but we're actually talking and having this conversation in the final 4 games of the season, which is a stretch from what we've seen over the past several years.